Good morning, TFR.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the planet. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to The Ironworx with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
I'm starting off fresh and I feel good. I look good. I smells good. Happy Friday, my friend.
Thank God it's Friday.
And TGIF to you. I'll jump the gun a little bit on that last little drop. Welcome to the Ironworx right here on truthfrequencyradio.com, TFRlive.com. And it is Friday, my dudes. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday, my friend. You left one out, and you actually left them out twice. Anyone? Rockfin. And actually, it's a subscription only right now for some reason. So I don't know how much fixing that takes, but
what about Rockfin?
Rockfin is on subscription only right now. It's not an open.
Oh, son of a gun.
Yeah.
Good call.
And we try usually not to do that on these, daily grind shows. I'll save that for the specials we do.
All those specials that we put out.
That's what I'm saying. You got to really keep up on the pace over here, buddy. You sleep, you lose. Wait, how's that go?
You snooze, you miss out.
That's it. You leave like a tree. Wait, what happened? There was one.
So, yeah, week's been quiet.
Sound of my coffee going down. I'm sure. Sorry, I thought we would have talking during that period, not just complete Walter gurgling.
I was going to say, it's been a pretty quiet week. Did miss a day of work, I think, on Wednesday. That was a pretty painful day. Well, Tuesday was pretty painful at work. And then I got home and needed to take Wednesday off to recover from Tuesday.
And that third day is, that's the bitch.
Yesterday wasn't too terribly bad. And so far today, it's reasonable. I've not taken ibuprofen yet this morning, so good on me there. Try to take it before it gets a little on top of me. That's usually my biggest problem, is that I wait too long and then I can't keep my pain manageable. But if I stay on it early, then it doesn't get bad, then it doesn't stay bad. But I'm still pharmaceutical free for pain relief and really anything.
Have you started any type of physical therapy? Any type of just stretches or stuff like that?
I was stretching the day of. After I got in the wreck and they towed my car off, my boss just happened to be close by on his way home, and he lives by me, so I called him up. He swooped me up and brought me home, and there was nobody here. So it was me still sort of recovering from the shock of having been T-boned at 60 miles an hour. And I'm just sort of wandering around. My neck is stiff and sore, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Is this going to trigger any sort of heart things? What the hell is happening right now? And I started stretching that right then. So it's been almost every day. I at least try to get one or two stretches in. But I think even Tuesday might have been part of the issues, is because I was trying to keep it stretched out and I just kept sort of re-aggravating it. So by the time I was leaving work, it was just completely locked up in a spasm and had been for several hours. So it was burning and tired and, muscle spasms suck. Lots of vitamin C, says Liz. That's a good idea. Brian Evans, you take off to your appointment. You have a great rest of your day. Thanks for hopping in and saying hi this morning. Much appreciated. Oh, shit. And just not for nothing, we have David Weiss deep inside the rabbit hole saying he's doing the final testing.
David, go to bed.
David, what are you doing up?
Go to
bed. Magnesium spray for muscular strain from 17 Joy there in chat.
Ooh, that's a good call.
Yeah, right, taking it as well. Just make sure you try to get the chelated, bro. Get that one.
Man, I think it was yesterday I talked to David and he was up all night. He was like, "Yeah, I'm going to get a couple hours of sleep here in a few hours." Good Lord, man. Hardest working guy I know.
Interesting take, Liz. You will probably detox now, Josh.
Yeah.
So beware of some exosome activity, sir.
Interesting.
The body trying to wrap itself around what you're doing, so it might offload some bad mojo on you. Be careful.
Get rid of it. Bring it.
Bring it. I hear you. Dave said he went to bed at 10:30, so he's good. Hey, you got to bed earlier than I did, sir. Very nice.
Yeah, way earlier than me. I think I saw 1 a.m.
Yeah, I definitely did. We went last night to actually go out and have a little time on the town, Shell and I, which we rarely ever do. We were not doing that before it was cool. And yeah, we did. We took off and went and saw Bobcat Goldthwait. Bob Scratch Goldberg. Yeah, he was very cool, dude. It was, number one, I've been a fan literally since the first time I saw him. I believe
That's
on
Academy, right? Bobcat?
Yeah. That's where a lot of people know him from.
Dude, I swear Charlie Kelly is his son.
You think?
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely it was a mind-blowing experience to see him still have the chops and it still feel like I used to go to comedy club on a regular basis with like my sister and my family and stuff. We were all into comedy. So when I was in college, it was right there in town. So we would go to the club constantly and saw quite a few known and unknown. And it felt dangerous a few times. Like he actually told a few routines. He told us and going in, like, this is some stuff, that may or may not stay in. I don't know. We'll see. And he'd go. And I was like, what? Sure, we're watching him like try out material on us. That's fucking epic. Some hit hard, some not so hard. We had a little heckle-ish type situation. Not legit, just this whole entitled fucking generation that exists now. And there were some there. And he started talking about Robin Williams. And they gave the little whatever noise, like, who are you to talk about a suicide? He's his fucking best friend. That's who he is. And he proceeded to let him know that in a very nice way and like put that dude down about a foot tall. So yeah, fuck you, little entitled ass. So that was epic. Yeah, it was really a great show. I was blown away at how really good. We even got a secret joke that I won't tell you. But yeah, he was like, man, in this world of, us all trying to rush to get everybody in trouble. Don't put this on Twitter. Don't put this on whatever. This is one I'm working on too. And I really don't know if this one needs to be here. And it was fucking the pisser of the show. We all came unglued. It was great. So yeah, had a great time. But stayed up way too late.
I'd like to see him do some comedy straight too. I can appreciate Bobcat Goldthwait for the character that is Bobcat Goldthwait.
Right.
But I'd like to see him do some shit straight.
Yeah, it's been a while that I've seen him over the years do it. He dropped the whole character, as you say, that kind of went by the wayside as age and just not needing it anymore. The chops are there. You really don't need the character anymore. So it was really good. Is he flat? You know, and that went through my mind a couple of times during the show, just from things he said that kind of leaned into a little edge of liberalism, because, you know, he did live in Hollywood. He doesn't now, but he was there in the mix of that machine that tends to have quite a big script for everybody. So he edged into a few places where it was like, really, we really didn't need to go here. But, you know, it was more in just the conversation. It wasn't the topic of the particular routine.
In the water to see.
There was that too. Oh, a couple times he definitely hit us, like Southerners, Confederate flag reference once or twice. He even wondered about why we here in South Louisiana decided years ago that we were coonasses. That's the colloquial name for the local residents of this area. He was like, "So you guys, you're still using that word?" Huh? We all just busted out laughing. It was great. Yeah, he was on top of things. It was really good. He knew the boundaries and he pushed them. It was perfect. In fact, what was his? In one of the routines, he talked about like in like swimming and snorkeling and like, you know, the guys like signaling to you. Here's a little hand sign for a turtle, and everybody swims over there and sees a turtle. Here's a swim. You know, here's another hand sign for a school of fish. Everybody swims over there. Looks at the school of fish. Well, the finger straight up over your head. That's hand sign for a shark, and he swims over towards the shark, you know, and he's like, "Oh, cool, that's a 13-foot, you know, tiger shark." And he looks back, and everybody's like 400 feet away, and the instructor's like waving him back over here and all this, and they get out, and you know, his daughter was with him, and they get out, and he's like, Mr. Goldthwait, why were you swimming towards the shark? And his daughter jumped up and said, "Sir, my dad has always swam towards the shark." So yeah, he did. He definitely did all night. That was great.
That's awesome, man. I didn't even know he was still.
Yeah. He's doing it. He's definitely doing it. And apparently working up, like I said, must be working up a new special or a new routine or something, because he was working some new shit. It was great.
Oh, that's cool. That sounds like a good time there, Walter.
It definitely
I've never seen a comedian except for Owen Benjamin.
Yeah, there you go. I would like to see him live. He puts up a great energy when he's doing his thing. I've seen a few of his that are out there online.
He did play me a song, though.
Really?
Nice.
I got to sit and hang with him for the, because I was a presenter in Dallas.
Yeah.
Presenter meeting, and he was in it. And we started chatting after that. And I was like, dude, tomorrow on your show, can you play PHJ for me?
Nice.
Yeah. Dude, every time I saw him play that, the song's great. Don't get me wrong. The song's funny.
He's very talented on that fucking piano, dude. He's amazing.
It's the way that he does
his style, yeah.
it over like 4 times. Like, all right, now when I start, like, you know, as soon as I hit the tune and sing out the first verse, you know, I mean, John Lennon gets a standing ovation, screaming encore thing when he says, "Imagine there's no heaven." He says that, and the whole crowd goes nuts. So when I say this first line, I want you to just start screaming or lose it. Just lose it. And then when we get to this part, I mean, I want to see tears rolling down your face. Dude, it's just hilarious the way he does it. It's such a good skit with a song in it. It's amazing. But yeah, he will be at the Mount Meru Summit closing it out.
Nice.
Before that, 1 week away from today, people will probably be heading to the park, the nut jobs that want to get there by 8 o'clock. I was one of those nut jobs last year, so don't feel bad if you are. But no, that's why I've been staying up late. I'm trying to get
trying to get your late night chops up.
my body used to staying up past 9:30, so because you know
you're doing all right. You were playing until 1 o'clock with me playing the other night, I believe.
Like I said, I was sharp too.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't getting 0 kills at morning. Oh, doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm trying to. I've never hung out after a Flattoberfest. I've always been, Cam and I have always had to be back at 7 or 8 or whenever it starts to be ready to go. So usually 9:30, 10 at the latest, I was home in bed, but now it's noon, so I get to stay up and go to the karaoke, and yeah, this is going to be awesome. I'm excited. Picking up David and Paige Thursday at the airport. That'll be cool.
That will be cool.
Got just about everything all set up and ready. It's all pretty and polished. I think I figured out a way to add a little more power to the Van de Graaff generator and the 2 plates. I'm going to add a couple, what are they called? The thing that Ace McLeod came over in Denver, and we all shocked ourselves, like connected.
Leyden jars, that's right.
Yeah, because the what's that thing called? The Wimhurst generator, another type of generator. It gets about 400,000 volts, and it uses Leyden jars to store a charge. So I was thinking, well, why can't I just put one of those on my Van de Graaff generator? A couple glass jars with water, some aluminum foil around the outside edge, and like a nail or something going down into the top. That's all you really need to make a Leyden jar. And it should, and man, they add a lot of amperage. We had 4 or 5 people in a line. 4. Me, Ace, Cammy, and Jared. And man, that thing really, it went through all of us. Like I saw like the white light for a second. You guys remember that? We did that live on.
I do vaguely remember that. That was a hot minute ago.
Yeah, that was almost 3 years ago.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Man, we've been at this a while.
There is a question in chat from David Banner earlier. It says, what are Zach and the panel's thoughts on there being a celestial convergence when observing the sky at night?
Glad you saw that, sir. I had that highlighted. Glad you caught that one. Well, I kind of hinted on it a little bit, I think, just recently. It's actually kind of where I started with my questioning of my reality, because before I actually went out on the beach and really saw the sun doing things that weren't fitting in any model and seeing things too far and all that crap that I've told you guys hundreds of times now, before all that, I definitely was trying to figure out what's going on with what I'd seen happening in the sky. And, and I'd seen crow stuff, and it was still not making any sense in any kind of pattern. Nothing made sense, like nothing about it being that far away, that spinning and all that. And early on, there was a whole contingency of folks there putting out videos that kind of were pointing to the fact, or looking at evidence that seemed to lead to the fact that what's going on above us in the sky is some type of holographic projection. Are we literally inside a dome screen? Not particularly. I don't think that was really ever the thing. I think it was more along those lines of just so much further out there than we could even imagine what that thing is. But it definitely isn't a natural phenomenon. It is something created by someone to fuck with what we're seeing, to make us see shit that isn't truly there, because of that very thing you're talking about. I'm looking down the road, there's convergence. I look at sunsets, there they are. There's the crepuscular rays, there they are. There's your convergence. I look at the stars, it all goes away. That makes no sense. Even in their model, that makes no sense. Even if it's really a quadrillion, billion, zillion, gadillion miles away, I don't think that's it either. I think it more ties into that whole thing of that infinite plane that we can't really wrap our heads around what visually would happen on that thing. We really can't. I mean, yeah, we can wrap it around as far as we can see. But past that, what's going to happen? What's going to happen with those things that are just, I don't know, kind of getting out there and spinning out. But definitely it's been a thing that I've tried to contend with. And it just keeps coming back to, it's either being presented to us in our head by the interaction of us in this reality and this electronic matrix, electric grid, whatever it is we're in. And it's just procedurally there all the time, like your sun column going to the sun on the water is always there for you. That sky is always there for you. I don't know. I can't understand why it doesn't happen like it should. It definitely doesn't seem to. Unless the fucking shit is so much huger. Ooh, there's a word. If it's bigger than we can imagine, then maybe that is what we're seeing as a convergence of some sort. It doesn't seem to work that way when you look around in a 360-degree circle out into those planes, out into that horizon. It doesn't seem to look that way, but it definitely doesn't converge like it should. All right, I'll stop ranting.
So what was the question again?
The sky converging. Like, why don't the stars converge off into a distant point like they should, and like the sunset does, like the road does, like the train tracks do, like everything else does. When we look at it into the distance, it all converges to a point. The stars don't. Why?
I don't know. It's a good question. I quit pondering what the sky is. I mean, I'll do mental, gymnastics every once in a while just to think about it. To what's the word? Too early, brain fart. Just to have the idea. I will. Oh my God, I'm being dumb right now. I can't. The word's like right there. Entertain. I will entertain ideas about it and think it through. But what's going on in the sky? I've thought about this a lot, and I cannot put it on any type of model that you could build around the sky to make it work. It doesn't. In my opinion, it doesn't work on the globe model. It doesn't work on a flat Earth model. No, it'll drive you mad if you try to actually figure out what is going on up there. I mean, you can get real close. Lots of the parts all fall together and this and that. And then you move like where you are on that place, and a bunch more puzzles pop up. And some of them I never figured out. Mostly has to do with the south, with the outer ring, the outer edge, what's going on out there. And and the hardest part about it is we don't know the limitations of this place, the dimensions. If we had the dimensions, I'm sure we could have a much more plausible explanation of what's actually taking place. But we're not even allowed to explore to know how far out this might possibly go, if it even stops. And getting up real high, that's even harder, because it's not like there's just humans telling us we can't do this. There's the limitations of physics. So, I mean, I love listening to people talk about the sky and hearing their ideas and entertaining them and all that kind of good stuff, but I don't know. When it comes to the sky, I don't know. That's my answer. Sorry, that was a long, stretched out ramble for that answer, but yeah.
You did it well. You got there fine.
I was just going to shrug my shoulders, but
I think that's what we both did in our big, long-winded fucking ways. Went, fuck, I don't know, guy. It don't work. It don't make sense. Nobody knows.
Throws his hands up. All right.
All right.
We've got about a few minutes left here of the first segment here on the Ironworx on truthfrequencyradio.com, TFRlive.com.
I see you over there, Tom Nixon on Rock Band. I can't type to you because Josh don't like me being in chat over there with you or something. But no, he just don't have it set up for everyone being there, and I'm still not a subscriber because these guys.
I should have said it. Maybe refresh.
I got to see what I'm getting into before I start subscribing to some Ironworx dudes in the morning.
Refresh your page. It should be set.
Refresh. There we go.
Yeah, when you mentioned it, I went over and changed it real quick, so it should have been set for a while. Hopefully. But big shout out Tom Nixon and everybody else there over on Rockfin.
Yeah, I'm thinking about adding that to the presentation at Flattoberfest. Just the
how to work rock band.
Right.
No, I'm kidding.
Good luck. Shit, I'd sit in for that.
I'm on the sky again. Just like a hemispherical lens, a couple circles written on a piece of paper, and you can show how you can make both sides show the star trails. I don't like doing that because I don't know what the sky is, and I don't want people thinking I'm saying, oh, it's a lens up there. You know, we live in a dome. I don't like saying that because I don't know. But on the other hand, it does kind of show a possibility. Because Cammie has her idea of how it all works, which is different. But yeah, I think I'm going to add that to the Flattoberfest demonstrations. A little bit of optics. Sorry about that, Josh. I was just stuck on the sky for a sec.
You're just killing time, brother. Eat it up. Eat it up. No, that does bring us to the end there of the first half of the Ironworx right here at Truth Frequency Radio. Stick around. We do have more coming up. We have quite the diverse pile of space lettuce to get through. So we might dive into that here in just a little bit. But we shall see you right back here on the other side of this quick commercial break.
In a single minute, your body produces 120 to 180 million red blood cells. People ask Google 2.4 million questions, and 25 million Coca-Cola products are consumed. Many of those bottles will end up in a landfill, where the World Bank estimates we produce 5 million pounds of garbage. 108 human lives will be lost in this minute, and an adult male will lose 96 million cells. Fortunately, 96 million cells divide, replacing those lost. Speaking of divisions, in the USA, 1.5 people get divorced, while worldwide, 116 people will get married, 83,300 people have sex, but only 258 babies will be born. And a fetus is developing neurons at a rate of 250,000 per minute, so it's no wonder that a computer simulation takes 60 quadrillion bytes to simulate a minute. An average of 1.38 micrometers of rain fall around the world, which is 4.7 billion bathtubs of water every minute. And with the storms comes approximately 6,000 bolts of cloud-to-ground lightning hitting the Earth. A 150-pound person expends 1.1 calories of energy per minute while sleeping, while the sun provides us with 83.33 terawatts of energy. The Earth will complete 1,800 kilometers of its 940 million around the sun, moving 1,034 times faster than a cheetah. 70,000 hours of Netflix are watched, 300 hours are uploaded to YouTube, and you can watch this video and subscribe.
The reviews for Extendivite are amazing. Here are some from Amazon. By Christine, great for heart palpitations. By Anne, before I started using this product, every afternoon my ankles and my hands would be swollen. That doesn't happen anymore. So if that part of their advertising is true, I have to assume that the rest of it is also. Not to mention that when I had my yearly blood test, only a few weeks after beginning to use this product, my cholesterol had dropped over 30 points. I'm going to continue to take it. By Croc, I love this product. It really works. By Brad, works great, thank you. Tell us your story. Get your Extendivite today. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendivite.
If there's something you want to achieve, you can achieve any freaking thing you want as long as you know what the goal is. That's why goal posters or goal boards or even just telling someone what your goals are, writing them down is so important, because once you can identify your goal, it makes it so much easier to work towards it. And that's something that I think our children are not being taught in the school system right now, is how to set a proper goal. It's like, hey, what do you want to achieve? Well, the teacher gave me these things I want to achieve. Okay, well, what's that going to do for you? Well, I don't know. The teacher said I had to do it. Okay, that's great, but it doesn't teach them the logical thought process or the creative thinking process to develop a goal and then reverse engineer what they need to do to accomplish that goal. And we need more of that true goal setting in our society. Otherwise, we just have a bunch of sheep who have no idea what they're doing. They're just bumbling around. Don't be a sheep, be a goat. They're more creative and adventurous anyways. Be an ornery goat.
You are now tuned into the Truth Frequency.
Your protection from deception. TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
I want to state, it is my opinion that Sandy Hook is a complete and utter hoax. And that the parents up there
fake news
were laughing and joking and then put on an act to come and speak in front of the press corps. But that's just my opinion. The opinion of one man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones here. You're listening to Iron Realm Media. I listen all the time, and it's the best truth show out there. Forget about the mainstream lying. Get your weekly dose of iron. Realm, that is. Stay woke, folks.
Big shout out to the Kakalaki crew for that.
Absolutely. Guess
My
y'all start.
Tyson one.
I wish I could find it.
I'm still digging through stuff. As I upgrade and move over to a new hard drive, I have to transfer some stuff that I need, weekly over there. So that's actually helped me find some stuff I had lost, but still haven't found the others. But we will find them. I guess from now on, Tommy, you just start putting those super chats in Alex's account.
He's going to need it.
He will need it. What was it? 960 million, 965, almost $1 billion, basically, in damages. Numerous lying fucks. I mean, alleged lying fucks. Right? How do you do this legally? Alleged lying fuckers. Is that the correct? Fuckers. Legal term. Fuckers.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty wild. He was on Joe Rogan talking about it. How he really didn't have the ability to defend himself. Something like that. I wasn't paying too much attention to it. As much as Alex has woken so many people up, and I was one of them. I was there back in 2008 when he taught me a lot about, what goes on in politics and things like that. But I've always reserved that feeling that he is controlled out. And I hate saying stuff like that because we hear it so much with, when you hear it being said about people well, very well, it kind of loses a little bit of that flavor of it being a possibility when you hear it about other people. And I don't know Alex Jones. I don't know him from Adam. Now, has he said some stupid stuff? Yes. Do I think he's always saying everything he knows? No. But do I know that he is, lying to me to try to coerce me to think or do a certain thing? No, I don't know that. I don't know Alex Jones. So yeah, I don't know. That's about all I have to say about that. He woke up a lot of people. I will give him that. And he's still out there, still doing it, So, yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. Yeah. What do you guys think?
I was right there with you. I was a big fan of Alex Jones there for a minute. And it was basically when he got on his Ron Paul kick that I thought, wait a minute. You were so right on for so much of this, and now you want us to feed into this false dichotomy of voting bullshit? And it just really kind of threw me for a loop.
That's when I quit.
Yep, me too.
Right on time. Yep.
Once he started doubling down on the system and having his listeners try to vote and shit like that, I thought there's something just a little off here. And then he just got so over the top. I didn't remember him used to being so extra.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what makes so liked by so many people. Because the thing that got me the most, though, the thing that I always, because I watched him on YouTube, I wanted to see him while he was talking. And when he would speak about a child being tortured or something like that, he would get this weird grin on his face. And then he would catch himself and say, "Oh, I'm only smiling and laughing because it's so horrible and evil and I have to or else I'll cry." But just that weird grin he would get in his face when he was talking about evil things being done. That really, I can still see it. It sticks with me. It tells me, hey, don't trust that guy. Just that little voice in my head says, whoa, that's something's wrong there. So yeah, that was one of, the whole Ron Paul thing was like, yeah, what are you doing? And then when I started hearing that or seeing that, that's when I was like, okay, I'm done. I got to go. But yeah, definitely, I don't trust the guy. Like I said, I don't know the guy.
Maybe because I had a whole period of just not being exposed to media, just had removed myself from everything on purpose, just was sick of all the crap, I missed it. My exposure to him was that movie. Damn it. It was animated. Keanu was in it, and a couple other people, and whoever directed it. It's the same guy who did Dazed and Confused. My brain is not awake enough to remember any of these details, so I should shut up. But same guy directed this movie. It was animated. And actually what it was he filmed all this shit, and then they drew cartoons over it, I guess, with computers, early day shit. Not rotoscoping, but really close to it. And so that was him in the movie with a bullhorn yelling about things, 9/11, the government, all this stuff I already was well aware of, because I'd already been, like I said, I'd been down those rabbit holes just on my own research, because Kennedy essentially had me suspect of my government for years. So I was already digging. And so that character in that movie to me was another created character, just like the character Keanu was playing in that movie, just like the character, the little kid from Dazed and Confused is in the movie. He played a character. They were all playing characters. So fast forward, literally, flat Earth fast forward, hanging out with all you guys here, other people on Twitter, blah, 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 Alex Jones, blah, 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 Alex Jones, who is this? And I didn't know who he was, except when I looked him up, there was that dude I remembered from that movie in Ranting with the Bullhorn. So my first exposure to him mentally was him ranting with a bullhorn in a movie that wasn't real, made by, in a cartoon world movie that was all about, the movie itself was about how our waking life, which is the name of it, isn't necessarily what we think it is. Dreams are not necessarily what we think they are. Consciousness isn't necessarily what we think it is. So the fact that that's how he was presented to me, as this doubtful character inside this doubtful narrative of this doubtful reality of this movie about doubting your reality, he was never a real character. And then I found out who he was. And then the whole fucking shit hit the internet with Bill Hicks stuff. And at that point, I just backed away. It was like, yeah, whatever. This is just too much nuts for me. So I never dug deep, except in the little bits and pieces here and there people would throw our way. So I really didn't have a point of reference like you guys do on him and who he was and who he changed. To me, he was always that ranting guy. Maybe the level of ranting changed or whatever. But yeah, I just had missed that boat completely. So now that they're using him as this big example, again, feels like part of the narrative and part of the game and part of the movie I was watching back in 2001 or 3 or whatever that was.
Alan Holman nailed it with it was A Scanner Darkly.
It was A Scanner Darkly. Thank you, Holman. I thought it was Waking Life. Same concept, same idea. That they filmed a movie and then they cartooned the movie. And it may have been a different director now that you said that, because it sure was A Scanner Darkly. Thank you. Thank you, Alan. Thank you. Waking Life, also great. Check it out. Excellent. I'm going to look both those up and go see them again now. I'd
like to take a turn here, if you guys don't mind. I found an article. I would love to. Now, this doesn't happen very often. You're not going to hear this from me maybe ever again. Ever. California passed a law that I agree with.
What?
Yeah. I have been shouting this out for a very long time. So, inside the global effort to keep perfectly good food out of the dump. This is from the New York Times. I'm not going to be able to do the whole article, but just the main part here is what I really wanted. Around the world, lawmakers and entrepreneurs are taking steps to tackle two of humanity's most pressing problems: hunger and bullshit. Oh, excuse me. I had to clear my throat. Climate change. In Seoul, garbage cans can automatically weigh how much food gets tossed in the trash. In London, grocers have stopped putting date labels on fruits and vegetables to reduce confusion about what is still edible. California now requires supermarkets to give away, not throw away, food that is unsold but still good to eat. And then it goes into blah, 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 climate change, methane gas, blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. How long have I been saying this? We throw away enough food in this country alone to feed the whole earth every year. Every person on earth could eat our trash that we throw away and live fine. So thank you, whoever did this. California, it seems like it's more of a global effort. India's in on it, England's in on it. Yeah, we make enough food to feed everybody, people. I think food should be one of those things that really doesn't cost money. Yeah, if you want, caviar, filet mignon, or all, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay, whatever. But just food, just regular food, the stuff we throw out every day and tons at a time, because a little printing on it says, oh, you can't sell it after this date. Even though they opened something from Shackleton's Antarctic, whatever, 100 years later, and the meat was still edible. It was still good. Yeah, I think the whole sell-by date was nonsense. I mean, some things can go bad. Don't get me wrong. But when you preserve certain things, and as long as it stays airtight and the seal isn't broken, that stuff is good. So, yeah, this is something that I think is a good thing, and I hope more places start following suit. Do you guys see any? I'm looking for the downside. It's coming out of California. There's got to be something, right?
No, come on. Be positive, man. Come on.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, I'm down with it. I think it's, something that's been ridiculous a long time, the amount of food that gets wasted and thrown away in this country. It kills me in my own household, the amount that we throw away mostly because of just Michelle and I now. And we, unconsciously still are buying for a family of 4 or 5 or whatever. And so, yeah, we do throw away more than we should just because it sits too long and gets old and it is bad. It's molded or it's something I can't eat. But working in the food industry over the years as a teen and early 20s and whatnot, I myself watched and did throw away a considerable amount of edible food that just drove me nuts. So I'm like you. There's got to be an agenda hidden here somewhere at the back side of that bill or whatever they just did.
It is. And Axel just shared it with us. They're going to pick in our trash and charge people for food that they throw out.
And see, that's sort of where I fall into it, is more government is never the right answer.
No, you're right. You're right. Never ever.
No, but I think this is kind of taking away maybe not eliminating, but just kind of equal, because they were already involved, weren't they, with the whole sell by date? Was that a federal FDA thing? See, I don't know. I'd have to do more research on this. Was that done by the food companies, or was that done by the FDA, or the FDA and the food companies combined, saying, hey,
planned
our stuff sits
obsolescence.
on the shelf for too long, and if they just threw it away, we could put more there right away. So why don't we work together? I'll give you a couple $1 million, and you just say, okay, this food can't sit on the shelf longer than this. I don't know. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, Backwards World says I compost all my scrap. So for the most part here too. I mean, we don't do meat and bones and stuff like that, but anything else goes into the compost for sure. Yeah, I don't know, Josh. I'd have to do some more research to determine whether or not this is more or less or just equal to the amount of government we already have. Yeah, I got my little brother on that when we were talking about the whole abortion thing. He's like, oh, it's not right that, but I was like, well, bud, the federal government, all they did was give the power back to the states. And anytime the federal government relinquishes any type of power or hold, in my opinion, that's a good thing. Now, states get to, it's not like the states aren't going to go through a process and set things and this and that. But the federal government, anytime they give up power, that is a good thing. In my opinion, any way you look at it, the federal government giving up. I mean, if you don't like the state you live in and the laws that they live, then go move to a state that you do like. But yeah, I'm all for the federal government giving up any type of, power they have over anything. That's just me, though.
It's not as though California is bereft of homeless. It's not like they'd have to figure out, scratch their head and thunk real hard about what to do with all this excess food. I mean, companies have been purposefully not giving it to people forever and allowing the homeless, running them off of their properties as they dig through the old food in the dumpsters, calling the cops, chasing them off, having them arrested. I think it's a societal mentality. If we are going to allow all the excess and waste, and in the other hand, allow for homelessness and hunger to be pervasive in at least certain areas of the country or certain areas of the major cities across the country, then the problem's just as much ours as anybody's. We shouldn't have to stuff our faces at night waiting for the government to demand grocery stores give excess food away. We should have been demanding that of the grocery stores already. Like Zach said, this is something that should have been instituted a long time ago. But like masks or stay-at-home orders, mandating it, I think is not the answer. I think pressuring these useless fucking food companies that just want to invoke their planned obsolescence with their food, well, you just throw it away. And I've done this for a long time. I've worked in the food industry too, where you kind of have to stay up on those dates. But the food I eat at home, I could never serve. The wife looks at me cross-eyed when she sees some of the things that I'm willing to eat out of the fridge and how old they are. And it's...
Ditto, Michelle Freaks. You can't really... Are you eating that? I'm just going to throw that away. I'm like...
It's fine.
It's fine. When I smell it and it's fine, it's fine. Trust me. My nose knows. No, I don't know about bacteria. Like, I'll let you know in a couple of hours what happens.
I did want to throw back a little bit to The beginning of the
before-
show. No, go ahead.
Well,
Paul.
wait. You throw back to the beginning after I throw back to like 10 minutes ago.
All right.
Bam! I knew I was conflating it a bit, but it just kept niggling at me that something wasn't quite right about that. And what it is this: Alex Jones was actually in Waking Life and in A Scanner Darkly. Both movies being animated adult films, which were filmed first with real actors and then animated 2 different techniques, both of which were fucking directed by Richard Linklater, which in my mind, they're all just one movie, because I was a huge follower of his career from the first movie forward, and at that point in time probably had both those movies on DVD and was watching them probably a lot back to back simultaneously. One came out in 2001, the other 2006. So my mistake a bit, but definitely not fully. Him on the bullhorn was Scanner Darkly. Him in the car with the CB attached to the loudspeaker on top of the car ranting and raving was the scene in Waking Life. Go, Josh.
Well, I'd mentioned before that during my recovery this past week, I've still managed to stay completely pharmaceutical free as far as pain relief goes. And I have been sort of going back and oscillating, going back and forth between my cocktails of 2 Tylenol and 2 ibuprofen. And then that's good for about every 4 hours, 4 to 6 hours. But I don't want to just pop those all day long. So I do mix them up. And what works even better, and it's only because I have a limited supply when I'm sharing with the wife, but the Kratom Plus seems to work wonders on my neck and even my head when I have all the stress and tension and things that are locked up in there and giving me that headache. I can pop 4 of those Kratom Pluses and just within less than an hour, I have relief. So I want to give a big thank you, a big shout out to James over there at Grounded Extracts and all the great things that he's doing over there. It's luckily we've been nursing them, so to speak.
Yes, I have, sir. My bottle is emptied out, but I plan on hitting him up soon. So, I see him in chat there, brother. I love you. You are awesome.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing just 2 days ago that I'm going to have to head on over there to groundedextracts.com to order some more of my
hearing you talking about it just the other day when you told me you'd taken the Foreign Health, I was like, dude, they're amazing. Like, I normally take 6 grams on like what I have, from my other guy. And yeah, I can do 3 of those on an average day, and on that bad day, 4. And something about that frankincense and myrrh in there just kicks it on over. Yeah. There was a reason. It was a gift. Go ahead, Zach.
James is definitely, if you'd like a chance to actually meet James in person, he will be at Flattoberfest next weekend, Greenville, South Carolina.
Hell yeah.
He even said, I heard on Melodome that he's going to have some like little gift bags.
Nice.
Out samples of some of his products to people. Yeah. It's all handmade with love, folks.
It is. That's part of it, dude. That love comes through every dosage, or not every dosage, but every time you eat some. He's saying he's got more for us because he's going to be doing us some herbal super chats. James, you're awesome, brother. Love you. You got me grinning ear to ear.
Yeah, you go to his, I don't even want to call it a lab, his apothecary.
Right. There you go. His apothecary. Perfect.
It's amazing. You look in the closet and there's just giant glass jars of all these different liquids just fermenting, just going through their alchemical processes, It's a beautiful thing. It really is. And it's all done with love. Every capsule, every grind that he does, he actually cares about you and making you healthy and better. And that's why one of the reasons it works so well. And he's a tinkerer. people are like, well, this does this and this. And, hey, I'm going to try to mix a little bit of this together and this and this and this. And yeah, it's amazing, dude. So if you have any issues and you really are having trouble, you don't want to go, pharmaceuticals aren't working, you want to get off of them.
Oh, wow, that's breakage.
Sorry, that is breakage. I was just putting link in chat for groundedextracts.com. Stick around. We've got a lot more coming up. This brings us to the...
I was trying to drop it. I dropped the Alex Jones one instead, damn it.
This is iHeartRadio. iHeartRadio. iHeartRadio makes you want to move. When you have a great melody, song lasts forever.
Instantly connected.
I love it when the beat goes.
Did you know you can listen to Truth Frequency Radio on iHeartRadio? Just download the app to your smart car, smartphone, or smart TV and get the best of TFR wherever you are.
iHeartRadio.
I'll see you there.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You don't hear them talking about COVID. To be specific, COVID-19. That name gets further and further away from China as opposed to calling it the Chinese virus. Come flu, the Chinese virus. Come flu, the Chinese virus. Don't you understand, you dumb son of a bitch? Calling it come flu, the Chinese virus. Testing is a double-edged sword. They test and they test. People don't know what's going on. We got tests, they got tests. You do testing, you're gonna find more cases. So I said to my people, slow the testing down. You know what? We got another one over here. The young man's 10 years old. He's got the sniffles. That's a case. That's a case. Thank you, China. Send us the plague. Come flu, the Chinese virus. Come flu, the Chinese virus. Don't you understand, you dumb son of a bitch? Calling it come flu, the Chinese virus. Despite the fact that I have done a phenomenal job. He lied. I saved hundreds of thousands of lives. There was only one person that died. I ran for politics once, but I became president. You are so lucky I'm president. There's a limit to what we can achieve. I stand before you today to declare, come flu, the Chinese virus. Come flu, the Chinese virus. Don't you understand, you dumb son of a bitch? Calling it come flu, the Chinese virus. If I lose an election over that, you know what? This country's in big trouble. Big trouble.
What's up?
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
The wicked ones obviously under heavy Masonic influence.
Happy Friday, my friend.
Good morning. I'm here.
Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
Wake up! Wake up!
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet.
Tell me things, internet. The Earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Okay, dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there.
There was one?
There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard.
You have stolen my dreams and my childhood.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt, and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cozy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt, and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the plane. To the show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to The Ironworx with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on The Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
Death and taxes. Don't talk about politics or religion. This is all the equivalent of enemy propaganda rolling across the picket line. Lay down, GI. Lay down, GI. We saw it all through the 20th century. And now in the 21st century, it's time to stand up and realize that we should not allow ourselves to be crammed into this rat maze. We should not submit to dehumanization. I don't know about you, but I'm concerned with what's happening in this world. I'm concerned with the structure. I'm concerned with the systems of control, those that control my life and those that seek to control it even more. I want freedom. That's what I want, and that's what you should want. It's up to each and every one of us to turn loose just some of the greed, the hatred, the envy, and yes, the insecurities, because that is the central mode of control. Make us feel pathetic, small, so we'll willingly give up our sovereignty, our liberty, our destiny. We have got to realize that we're being conditioned on a mass scale. Start challenging this corporate slave state. The 21st century is going to be a new century. Not the century of slavery, not the century of lies and issues of no significance and classism and statism and all the rest of the modes of control. It's going to be the age of humankind standing up for something pure and something right. What a bunch of garbage, liberal, Democrat, conservative, Republican. It's all there to control you, two sides of the same coin. Two management teams getting for control the CEO job of Slavery Incorporated. The truth is out there in front of you, but they lay out this buffet of lies. I'm sick of it, and I'm not going to take a bite out of it. Do you got me? Resistance is not futile. We're going to win this thing. Humankind is too good. We're not a bunch of underachievers. We're going to stand up, and we're going to be human beings. We're going to get fired up about the real things, the things that matter, creativity, and the dynamic human spirit that refuses to submit. Well, that's it. That's all I got to say. It's in your court.
There you go.
What was the name of that movie?
Waking Life. Yeah,
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it was really good. Like I said, it was the I don't know, like in the 70s they had a few movies. Ralph Bakshi was a real user of rotoscoping. They would film scenes and then basically paint on the actual fucking film over it and make it a cartoon. They did that in like a lot of the early Wizard what was it? One called Wizards. They did it in one called Fire and Ice. Early Lord of the Rings movie, they did some rotoscoping.
Our line
what?
Producer extraordinaire Alan Holman says, "No, Walt, that movie is a scanner darkly."
No, that is, I promise you, from Waking Life.
Yeah,
my
and
friend.
if you look at the animations are a lot different too between Waking
Promise you,
Life
Alan.
and Scanner
Yeah.
Darkly.
Yeah, Scanner Darkly was 5 years later and more computery and more streamlined and much better, quote unquote.
Yeah, I think that's when they introduced the
darker
ray
outline.
tracing. The ray tracing with the rotoscoping, I think, is what Scanner Darkly was.
There you go.
When they first started introducing ray tracing for actors and getting a little more detail on their faces and stuff like that. Because when you see Waking Life,
the scene of him in Scanner Darkly is literally him with a bullhorn yelling. So I'll pull it up here in a second.
Yeah, he gets snatched up in the van.
And the van gets him. That's it. Fucking, that's it.
Yeah.
So,
all right, I got one for people in chat and you guys. What's your favorite animated movie? Not a
Heavy Metal.
Children's movie. There you go.
I didn't even have to think a half a second. Yeah, there was nothing like it ever before, ever after.
Remember Cool World?
Wait, what?
Cool World?
Yeah, me and my brother still have a joke about that movie, how bad it was. Like anytime anytime for the next 10 to 15 years after that movie came out, we were at a theater seeing a shitty movie, we'd go, ooh, bro, I'm getting that Cool World feeling. I just hated that movie. It was so bad. Because, after Roger the Rabbit did it, there was really nothing else you could do with the concept, and they definitely ruined the concept. But yeah. I'm too much of an animation snob, dude. I mean, I'm all the way back to the Tex Avery, Chuck Jones era of like me wanting to know who those guys were because their style was distinct. You know Chuck Jones because he did The Grinch, that style of animation, but you've seen it in 15 or 20 different Looney Tunes cartoons, Merry Melodies, those cartoons. His style was distinctive. And then Tex Avery, not only his style, but his comedy chops were fucking extraordinary. So I just went down a lot of rabbit holes in libraries looking for these guys, trying to find out who they were and why their stuff affected me like it did. Because to me, that was just as much art as shit hanging on a wall in a museum anywhere. Because it was art. Beautiful, amazingly done art. So yeah, I was shocked when I saw Daz in chat saying he wasn't ever a big animation fan. Being an artist, that really stunned me. And I get it. Some people don't do it. But yeah, there was just so many different weird things I was attracted to, like Art Crumb. Oh, look, I look up and I see he's talking about Art Crumb in the chat. Yeah, I loved him, dude. I loved like a lot of early Alan Dean, like he did a lot of the Yes stuff, the Yes covers, and a couple of the Journeys. Yeah, just stuff, dude. A lot of different crazy animation stuff that I loved. Especially, like I said, Heavy Metal was, to me, the ultimate mix. The music I loved with the comic book I loved with animation. And then it was a midnight movie, so we could drink some Bartles and James in the parking lot and go watch it.
What do you got, Josh?
What's
your what's the go-to one you think of?
James and the Giant Peach.
What? Excellent stuff.
Nice, yeah. Wow, I haven't seen that in forever.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if I went back.
That's a different type of animation to me. That's stop motion. That's a whole different movie. If you want my favorite stop motion, that would be probably have to be. Go ahead, Zach. What's your favorite animation?
I don't know. It might be Bebe's Kids. Remember that one?
Oh, dude, that was fucking phenomenal. I loved his comedy. Another one of those unsung greats who definitely was underappreciated in his time.
Yeah, I saw that when I was probably 12, maybe 11, 12, 13, somewhere right around there, and I could not believe it. It was the first cartoon I saw where they were swearing and just saying stuff that I didn't even hear in adult movies. Yeah,
that one was one of those that was kind of out there to me as far as one of those pieces of art that was extraordinary. Because, like, to me, Robin, his art I mean, his comedy was art. You know, he was always one of those guys who was like real. He was telling real shit. It was like that, you know, prior real stuff. And so it came out great. And then the fact that they were able to turn that into a movie that was a quote unquote kids movie, and it wasn't at all, you know, at all. Yeah, that was genius. Fucking genius.
Yeah. Ooh, remember?
I love too much animation. I can't really narrow down my favorite stop motion.
Osmosis Jones. Remember that one?
That was one I didn't catch at the theater, and I caught it like one time in like somebody's house while they had it, and didn't see it again. I've never seen that except that one time at somebody's house. They had it going. It was on whatever they had streaming. Not streaming. That was back in cable days. But yeah, I just missed it. I missed that whole ride. I know it was good. I wanted to see it again, see it more, you know, but just never. There were a lot of movies I missed at the theater and then caught later and was like, oh man, why didn't I see this at the theater?
Was that Chris Rock or was he too young then? Osmosis Jones.
Yeah, no, that was him, right? Yeah.
So yeah, that's who I thought. Yeah.
Let me double check.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Wow, they just started flooding back into my brain. All these.
Yeah, that's him.
And like I said, there, you know, children could watch Osmosis Jones. It wasn't super bad at all. Actually, I don't even think there was any cussing or swearing in it. But that's when they, you know, they took a page out of Rugrats, I think, and said, you know, let's start throwing a lot more adult humor references. Nothing bad. Nothing, you know, over the line like they do today everywhere. But let's give something for the adults to laugh at too, and not just the children. I think that's why I liked it so much.
But yeah, I too much, man. You're going down a rabbit hole we shouldn't. It all probably started with King Kong for me with stop motion, and then like the Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, all the Sinbad movies. I mean, there was a weird movie called oh shit, what was it called? Equinox. Stop motion characters in it. Really crazy shit. Hell, I may have talked about that on here before. But yeah, as far as like a kiddie movie, probably the Wallace and Gromit shit. Again, designed for kids, but lots of jokes for adults in there. Really good.
Even Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies were cartoons for kids, but
no, those were never cartoons for kids. Yeah. Those cartoons were made for adults in the 40s and 50s, some in even the late 30s, that were made for interstitials between movies for adults. Those cartoons were never designed for kids. The only time they became for kids is when they got repackaged and all the old Hollywood ones were taken out, all the old racial ones were taken out, and they made this new animated hit the lights intro for them for Saturday morning, and that's when they repackaged them as a Saturday morning thing. Those were never designed for kids. They became repackaged for kids in the 70s, but they were designed for adults. That's why there's so many of those about stars that you have no idea who they are in Hollywood, and like inside jokes about stars from early Hollywood that no one would remember unless you're old as fuck like me. But yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff out there that don't get shown anymore for kids, quote unquote, but they were never for kids. Probably in Space Jam was the first one they made that was actually made for kids.
Oh,
sorry,
stuff.
I'm just too much of an animation snob. I'll shut the fuck up.
Do you have any more on animation, Josh? Or can we take a turn here?
No, bruh, more animation. I'm just kidding, go.
I just did want to give a big shout out to Liz the Iron Maiden with the super sticker.
Thank you, Liz.
Love you, lady.
That was all I had.
All right. Well, this is kind of one of those stupid, funny, I can't believe it's happening stories from something called Delish.com. DELI. I don't know why they're sending me food stuff all the time. It's so weird.
Because you talk about it.
So a guy is suing Texas Pete Hot Sauce because it's made in North Carolina. Okay, I'll say it one more time.
Wait, say that? Yeah, because I think my ear hearing must have gone completely stupid and heard some stupid shit come out of your mouth.
A guy is suing Texas Pete hot sauce because it's made in North Carolina.
North Carolina?
Get a rope.
So the spicy lawsuit claims that Texas Pete used false marketing and labeling. I know how labeling works here in the United States. And I guarantee there is a packaged in or by with NC after the name of the city that it's made in on those bottles. If you're selling them in stores, that's one of those requirements.
But his name's Texas Pete, and it confused me. If his
I'm
name is Texas
entitled
Pete, how can he be from
my
North
stuff
Carolina?
From Texas to say Texas. I mean, my stuff that says Texas, I can't even say this stupid shit because it's so stupid.
I bought a jersey for the Texas whoever, and it was made in Indonesia. I mean, this is ridiculous. You might assume that Texas Pete hot sauce is surely made in the Lone Star State. Well, you'd be dumb if you did that. Just saying.
Yeah, it's a bold
well,
assumption.
My friend.
Hold on. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm muted.
Actually produced hundreds of miles east of Texas in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. While many of us might be slightly surprised by this spicy factoid, imagine that, he's from Los Angeles, was so disappointed that he filed a class action lawsuit against Texas Pete. The report, or today, reports that shortly after Philip White purchased a $3 bottle of Texas Pete from his local Ralph store, he made the discovery that the hot sauce is made in North Carolina. What, did he finally read the bottle?
What a fucking explorer. What a discovery to be made. However did he manage to pull it off? I would love to hear the harrowing journey it took to discover this hidden information.
I'm going to go sue Kikkoman soy sauce because they got Chinese letters on their bottle and it ain't made in China. I mean, this is ridiculous.
But my 4th of July flag and t-shirt were both made in China. That seems to be a false advertisement.
And then the lawsuit adds. Now, remember, he paid this is a $3 bottle of hot sauce, folks. So the lawsuit adds that he would not have purchased the product or would have paid significantly less for it had he known its true origins.
Right. At the auction, at the grocery store auction where you just bid and whatever you're going to pay, whatever you think it's going to be worth based on where you think it's been made. I'm going to start a class action lawsuit against this guy for being stupid.
Is there one I could do? Because this is beyond breaking my brain. My stupidity meter is...
But yeah, this is just ridiculous.
Oh.
He was going to name it Mexican Joe, but it wasn't selling. So he changed the name to Texas Pete.
And maybe Texas Pete moved his operation. Maybe Texas Pete fucking lives in North Carolina. Maybe Texas Pete is just a nickname for Peter. Maybe Peter used to be from Texas, and now everybody just calls him Texas Pete. Maybe Texas Pete can make his shit wherever the fuck Texas Pete wants to make his shit. And you just mind your business and buy it or don't buy it, but sorry. Now I'm going to get pissy.
I knew that guy came from California as soon as I read the top of the article. I was like, I bet this guy's from California who's suing.
Is he going to give away that sauce for free to people who... Never mind. Okay, so real quick, callback. I have to... My sincere, heartfelt apologies to the Alan Holman, line producer extraordinaire, who has a huge man crush on Alex Jones, still raging. I did not mean to talk badly in any way about your man crush. If I did, sorry, my apologies. Actually, guys, as I scrolled through to see what I had missed out, I should have been paying more attention to you people in chat. Man, y'all have so much great stuff in here that you mentioned, like Fritz the Cat from Daz. Your Name. Another one from Alan. Go check that out. Axel Like Looney Tunes. Spirited Away. Yes, Jess. Amazing movie. Any of those Ghibli movies. Great stuff. Rikki-Tikki Tabe, Mr. Sidewinder. One of my personal fucking amazing growing up. Really touched me, made me the warrior I am today. Spirited Away. Let me see. Who else? Looney Tunes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Damn it, there was another one. The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, another one from Alan. Go check that one out. Whisper of the Heart, another one I don't know from Alan. Alan, you've got some awesome stuff for me to go check out. Rocky and Bullwinkle, fucking A. Grave of the Fireflies, I couldn't get through it, man. It hurt me. It hurt me. I couldn't finish it. So thank you. It's a great movie. Damn, Alan's just got some great ones. Anyway, The Egg. Great animated short, we're told. Thank you. I will check that out. Brian Metz giving us that one. I think that's it. Sorry, I just had to go back to all those suggestions so everybody can go check them out. Oh, love that one, Zach. Yes, great.
That was one of those that was like for children, but it was very adult.
Oh, it was definitely got some shit going on.
Kill us all, and we got to move everybody. It was dark. And that owl, I remember having nightmares standing on that little mouse's skull. Oh, man. Yeah, that was one of those that really got me when I was young. Secret of Nim.
What was the movie that was based around the owls? It came out a while back.
Yeah, The Wings of something or...
It'll come to me.
Yeah, because there was a video game I played about that movie, even though I didn't see the movie, and the game was actually pretty enjoyable. What the hell was that?
Because all of the owls were being
Gulili or some shit,
moonlit or something, where they're not allowed to sleep and they're forced to look up at the moon or the sun or something.
Legend of the Guardians.
Owls
of Ga'Hoole.
Yep, that's it. That was a pretty good animated story.
Yeah, I forgot about that. And like I said, the game was really fun.
Stealing the metal from their
heads. I have to look the game up because that was really fun. I forgot about that till you mentioned it. Yeah, there it is. Wow, as soon as I saw that cover of the game, why would I have bought that game of all the games in the world and not seen the movie? It must have had some good reviews at the time. And I like flying games, so there you go. That's crazy. I bet that's still sitting over there on my Xbox shelf. I bet. That's crazy. Oh, speaking of games, I shouted this out before the show to Zach and Josh just because I'm old. Look, it's part of my actual, that little wake up thing with the dark matter flip that I made so many years ago now. Toe Jam and Earl, there's an updated version. Yes, it's not the one you played when you were 5. Sorry. It is updated, but it's still very like playing the old game. The 2D. Animation is different. It's new, but it's definitely got the feel, and yeah, it has a special place. So if it's out there, it's free on the free game place. What is it? Which one is it? I forget all the time. The free games, where we get them. Where is it? Is that Steam or is it? No, it's Epic. There it is. Yeah. So go check it out, and I'll play with you if we can play together. I don't know if you can, but again, one of those first games you could play together. It really was great for me. And Mom, really, one of her favorite games. In fact, I kind of got a little heart tug when I opened it up and heard the music. It was like, oh, man, I miss my mama. So go play some with me. Anyway, that's enough talking about that stuff. We're almost about to break this thing up for the last half of the first half of the middle half. Where are we at? God, we're on the last bit of this thing. How'd that happen?
I don't know. It should pretty dang quick. It does seem like. But yeah, we do only have a few minutes. I got nothing.
I was gonna kind of read that story about the guitar hanger and laugh with everybody, and I can't. I pulled it up and tried to read it again, and it's so. Look, I'll just drop it in chat for you all to laugh at because we talk all the time about how the AI is here. It's not just coming, it's here. Well, sometimes we see that we might not have anything to be too worried about, because if this is the AI we're going to get, holy crap, this is so obviously written by a fucking robot who isn't human. This would be like Mark Zuckerberg wrote a story about guitar hangers. So enjoy the story. I dropped it in the chat there. I'll drop it over here on the Rock Den, which I can now access. Thank you, Josh. You were correct earlier when I did. And yeah, if you can find a human in that story, I'll give you $1.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Lots of complete sentences, mostly. I mean, there's punctuation and stuff, but
right.
Nonsense.
And the sentences were in there. They didn't go together, but they were in there.
Stick around. Fourth and final coming up right after this.
Find out how things work. Shof gave me this word for my life change. He said, study. If you wish to be successful, study success. If you wish to be happy, study happiness. If you wish to be wealthy, study wealth. Don't leave it to chance. Make it a study. You've got to study the things that can change your economic, social, spiritual, personal life. Now, here's a qualifying phrase. You may not be able to do all you find out, but you should find out all you can do. See, you don't want to wind up at the end of your life and discover that you've lived only 1/10 of it. And the other 9/10 went down the drain. Not for lack of opportunity, for lack of information. So that's number one, find out how things work. Now, here's the best human virtue for finding out, curiosity.
The reviews for Extendivite are amazing. Here are some from Amazon. September 2018. Extendivite works in keeping my blood pressure in the normal range. I've been using Extendivite for many years now. May 2018. Great product. I use regularly and I rarely get sick. March 2018. This product has relieved what appeared to be angina pain in my chest and shortness of breath after climbing stairs. I'm quite happy about it. February 2018. My husband, son, and I have been using this product for a few months now, and we have noticed an improvement in our joints and blood pressure. Tell us your story. Get Extendivite today. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendivite.
Remote viewing reveals Tataria history. Starseeds, lightworkers, and indigos, join me on the Nikki Colombo Show. It's time to reclaim our true history, our true timelines, our cosmic heritage. And remember to be humble, for you are made of earth, and to be noble, for you are made of stone.
Real people, real radio. Wherever you are, make it TFR. The Truth Frequency Radio.
The noise wasn't quite as bad
and we went right on up, and I saw darkness. I thought I was going to see the world, but we weren't quite high enough.
Oh.
And welcome back to the fourth and final segment of the Ironworks right here at Truth Frequency Radio. You know, it's a soundbite, but it still makes me laugh every time I play it.
Every time.
It's that last little kid's giggle at the end that just gets me.
I got one for you guys. I was looking through videos yesterday, and I found this one called the most expensive materials in the world. And they were going through plutonium, and the funniest one, the most expensive is antimatter.
No,
Imagine
it's not.
that.
It's not. I promise you that is not the most expensive.
Oh, antimatter?
Yep.
1 gram, $100 trillion.
Fuck you. I got spit in my mouth. I would have charged $200 trillion.
Well, there you go.
See,
there you have it.
There you have it. My substance is twice as expensive as the most expensive substance known to man. How do you like them apples?
But one of them that really struck me, and this was the only one in the whole list, because it's one that is supposedly natural, but we have no idea where it came from. This is called taphite. And
saltwater is my favorite. Get some down on the Jersey Shore.
No, not taffy.
Oh.
Taphite.
Well, I thought that was like maybe the smaller little pieces, maybe.
Yeah.
The little crumbs that come off.
Well, those you wrap smaller pieces, taphite, anyway.
So there's this guy, his name was Edward Taft, I guess. Story goes.
Oh,
and
how creative.
He went into a jewelry store, and I believe they said it was Ireland, and bought this piece of jewelry he was told it was this certain kind of gem. A much, more common gem, this and that, yada, yada, yada. And so he bought it, took it home, and then he took the gem out, and he was a gemologist. So he started doing some tests on it. And he found that the refractive index wasn't correct. This was caused birefringence, where it refracted twice. Cammie has shown this. She'll be showing it next Friday at Flattoberfest, well, Saturday. So that was how this was discovered. It was already cut and polished, this gem, and thought to be this other type of gem. But he discovered this new type of mineral from a piece of jewelry. And they still don't know where it came from. To this day, there have been like a handful, 5, 6 pieces of jewelry. One bought in India, I think they said. One somewhere else. Like 3 different places, 5 pieces of jewelry that have been found. I mean, you could have this sitting in your jewelry box at home and not know it. But they still don't know where on earth it came from, this mineral. That's why it's so expensive, because they have no idea who made it, where it came from, who mined it, who cut and polished it. It was like an antique jewelry store. And this goes back to we don't know jack about jack. Even things that have been refined and, put through a process doesn't mean that 100% everything in there has been, discovered. So yeah, it was just something I wanted to share with you guys. I thought that was so cool. The first time this was ever discovered was in a stone that was already set in a piece of jewelry.
That's kind of
How many like that out there do you think there might be? I mean, how many people take their jewelry and go and test it, with all these different testing capabilities? Yeah, it's wild. Tefite, something like that. Yeah. So yeah, just something to think about. Maybe one of those pieces of jewelry that grandma gave you from her mom and this and that. And they say, oh, it's this red, kind of a cheap gem, blah, 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 blah. You might just have one of the most expensive pieces of jewelry on earth. All right.
I'm just thinking about some of those mirrors we talked about recently that, they figured out it did weird shit from the back, and just some of the out of place things. I saw somebody at the probably Daz talking about it was a zapped reset piece of jewelry or something. So, I mean, who knows? As you said, who knows? And if they did, they wouldn't tell us without a doubt.
Did you know a lot of the exit signs that are like lit up green, they don't actually have electricity that runs to them? That is some kind of luminescent, I forget the name of it, but it's made during nuclear fusion, in their nuclear reactors. It's a byproduct that ends up in the pools. And they say it puts off a certain amount of radiation, but not dangerous to humans. Yeah, that's what we've said about how many things now. But yeah, in those exit signs, there's no electricity that runs to them. I didn't know that. I thought for sure they were lit by electricity.
Tritium. I couldn't remember. Tritium, Tritium.
But yeah, those exit signs cost $1,000 a piece because it has that tritium in it.
They can stay eliminated for 10 or 20 years.
So we have a guy that was hired with about the same time I was at my work. And we work a lot with tritium. And they put him in the tritium room. And I think he exposed himself to dangerous levels of tritium, not once, but twice. It's not funny because he sort of nuked himself a little bit. But yeah, I think there was 2 separate times he had to take a short leave of absence to deal with his tritium exposure.
So what did he have to do? Did they tell him to eat any certain things or something like that? Do they know what to do?
I think charcoal is involved. I'm sure they know what to do because we have it's a whole protocol because we're dealing with, radioactive materials, and you're not supposed to bring anything to eat or drink, and that kind of thing. You don't want to be ingesting it, whatever. They have their whole protocols. I'm not sure what they had to do, but I just know that he exposed himself to dangerous levels twice.
Wow.
But he's also one of those guys that, when I got hired on, you had to work there for 6 months as a temp before they would offer you a position permanently, full-time. And he was one of those employees they made do another round of 6-month trials before they hired him on. So he worked there for a full year as a temporary employee. I guess maybe they should have given it a little more thought.
Maybe not the brightest bulb in the pack.
No, probably
That's what
not.
you're saying.
Well, he brings his lunch in a Super Mario Brothers lunchbox, if that tells you anything.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay.
He's married with children.
Arrested Development.
And all sorts of other TV shows.
Okay. This is so. Go ahead, Walt. Go ahead. This one's. You seen what McDonald's is doing now?
In passing, some kind of weirdness I don't even understand. Wow, what is it?
Utterly sad adults are acting about this.
Oh, no, apparently I don't know what you're talking about.
Adult Happy Meals now.
Oh, is that what I saw with the 2 or 3 rows of eyes on it and was like, what is this movie I've missed? Or is
And
that, again, something about miss? Do they have all kind of eyes on their faces or something? Maybe I'm looking at two different things. Let me go see.
But the adults are complaining about the toy that they get.
Yep.
It should be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. It should be.
Of course they are.
What? I just don't.
Well, no, it's these fucking things I saw. It's some kind of, it's like, it's Grimace or it's the burglar, but they have 2 rows of eyes, which I don't fucking stand. What is the concept here?
I don't know.
So that is what I saw, but it's not. Yeah.
Complaining about their toys.
If I bought that shit and got that toy, I'd be pissed too. I want an old fucking like super spinning like Ninja Turtle. Exactly. I'm right there with those guys, man. Fuck these toys. These are not cool at all. I want cool toys in my Happy Meal.
That's enough to write McDonald's and complain about it?
You're entitled.
Or would you have said, oh, this toy's dumb and thrown it?
Well, I don't eat at McDonald's, so that's part of the problem there.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Same here. But I mean, this is just crazy. Complaining about an adult child's toy that you get at a fast food restaurant. There's so much going on out here to complain about. I mean, take your pick. If you really want to complain, you can't think of something better than the toy that you got out of your Happy Meal. I'm sorry, you have a great life if that's what you're complaining about. Just be happy. Oh, man. I don't get it. I don't want to get it. I just want them to leave me alone.
So it's even worse than I was thinking it was. I was trying to understand the toy. Just why the fuck are there so many eyes? And it's apparently some kind of collaboration with some kind of, I'm not even going to say a name because again, I don't eat these death meals. I don't support them. But yeah, apparently I would be irate if I got this. I truly would. If I was an adult and I was going like, what? They're bringing something back for me, and I went to a store to get that thing as a nostalgia thing, and they gave me this, I would went like, just give me the fucking regular kids meal. I don't want this stupid looking shit because it's fucking stupid looking.
Yeah, I didn't even see him.
It's really, really stupid. And it's just, again, it's more promotion for another company. It has nothing to do with kids, adults, nostalgia or anything. It's some current time store that's existing now. Again, yeah, I would be really upset if I was trying to get a nostalgia feeling for this. But that's just me. I bitch about stuff sometimes.
Wow, Google just quit.
So how long did it take for the moon to form? What's your guess? Don't look at my story. Just what did you hear before and you thought, oh, that's how long it took in their bullshit scheme of things. How long did it take?
2.3 billion years.
That's kind of where I was. What about you, Josh?
It's one of those things I never really considered a whole lot before questioning the shape of the Earth. And then when you start to look at it, there's so many freaking stories. Nobody knows how it was done.
Right. Well, that's what made me even question in the first place was the whole like, oh, it rang and oh, it's an alien ship and all those things back in my UFO days. Yeah, I was already knowing the moon didn't make any sense, shouldn't be there, all those things. And so, yeah, even those things made me go looking into possible ideas. There was a book by Velikovsky, When Worlds Collide, had a lot of great stuff that tied into a lot of biblical stuff, a lot of historical records. It was really good. And the moon was definitely part of it with collisions and all that. But all this happened way a long time ago. Billions and billions. Not so much, turns out. Not so much. So what now? What, couple hundred? Nope. Couple years? Nope. Couple of hours.
Right.
Couple of hours.
What?
Couple of hours. I said that for you to understand that they say the moon was now formed. Yeah. Couple of hours. A couple of hours. So yeah, I don't understand here. Let me see if true. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Leading theory since the 80s, billions of years ago. But a study published Tuesday in the Astrophysics Journal of Letters suggests a bold new idea. The moon could have formed in one swift exchange with a large chunk of baby Earth and its impactors material blown into a wide orbit in a matter of hours.
Show me.
You want to see the video? Here we go.
No, I want to see this happen.
Well, they got a video. Come on, Zach. You know it's NASA, man. Come on, dude. You know they got that video ready for you, buddy. Come on. Here we go. Let's get it struck. Let's get struck with the explanation of how this all happened for you. Here it goes. Here it goes. Boom. Here it went.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
That's how solid objects work.
You guys that are hearing this on the radio, what we're seeing now is, I can't remember the 70s. There were these lava lamps. Remember that? Turn it on its side and shake it really fucking hard. And you pretty much got what we're seeing right now. So if you can imagine that, you can imagine what the fuck we're looking at right now as a simulation starts with the collision of a Mars-sized body with our planet. And all those things that we just saw happen, how stuff works in the world of any world. That's how it works, just like that. Not sucked to the nearest huge star. None of that would happen. Not, sucking back into itself. Oh, it did suck back into itself. Shut up, Walter. You don't know. You didn't play this game.
Had 2 ribs
I do
removed.
have a game. I do have a game just like this. It's called Orbits or some shit. And yeah, I'll send it to y'all again. Y'all can see this don't work. Anyway, it's a bunch of bullshit. Lava lamp bullshit.
And they're saying this animation would have been just mere hours in real time.
Real time. You're watching this in real time. It's only 1:51, buddy. No, it's fucking, I don't know what the hell we're doing, dude. At this point, I'm just beyond even thinking that people can look at this and think this is how it had to have happened, right?
To be fair, look, it says NASA finds the Earth's moon didn't need hundreds of years to form.
I've broken my computer.
Try hours.
I can't stop sharing. If it comes to an ad or something, I'm sorry. Really, I can't make it stop. I can't get my mouse to work. What is going on? They've taken over my controls.
Taken over.
Okay.
Isn't it just a matter of measurements? I mean, we talked about this before. There's hours in a year. Even in hundreds of years, you could still count them as hours. You could count them as minutes if you wanted. You could say that the moon formed within seconds. If that's how you want to count them.
A quadrillion.
Right. I mean, it's going to be lots of seconds, sure. But it's just a matter of how you count, I suppose.
What is the name of the ancient culture? When there was the time before the moon?
I don't have it. I used to have a name in my head for that, but I don't. Let me pull it up. I have the article, or I have actually, I don't think it's an article. I think it's just an
Didn't Plato about him?
Oh, well, yeah, hang on a second.
I think so. I was listening to THC, the Higher Side Chats, and he had Archaics on. So I went down a bit of an Archaics rabbit hole there for a little bit. I know he had mentioned it a time or two. It wasn't the moon. It was about the sun, I guess he was saying. That was his vapor canopy idea, where there was no visible sun and everything just sort of had a glowing light about it. So ignore me. And there's a 6-minute warning going out, by the way.
6-minute warning, 6-minute warning.
Yeah,
Kerry Woolley in chat says Arcadians.
That sounds right.
Arcadia in Greece, before being inhabited by the Hellenes, had a population of Pelasgians. and that these aborigines occupied the land already before there was a moon in the sky above the earth.
That's it.
And for them, they were called Procellinuts. Procellinuts.
How about the Emerald Children? Wasn't the Green Children? Weren't there some kids that showed up in the UK somewhere speaking some strange language? And by the time they could figure out what they said, they came from a land with no sun, or was it a land with no moon? I forget which one.
I think it was no sun. Oh, it's been too long.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute for me too.
I bet the Y Channel has that going.
I'm really surprised Dave was able to pull those two green kids out of my butt, so to speak. Sorry. That's a soundbite for you.
Yeah, I'm about to say now. That's a whole different, yeah.
There's people out there that are claiming that that this is actually from the Hebrew Bible, before the time of the moon. In Hebrew, the word libne is used, which literally means in the face of, in front of. I'll have to ask Jack about that. But yeah, in these cultures, at least according to Plato, he said that they all talked of great catastrophes and world, like everything was disrupted when this new orb came into the sky. And if I'm not wrong, I want to say they claim that it came from like the outer lands, like the south in the globe. If I'm gonna have to go back. Don't quote me on that. I'm gonna have to go back and read that Plato, what he wrote about him. Yeah, interesting stuff. Again, to me, these are all stories. I wasn't there. I don't know. I'll never know. But it's interesting, to just have these ideas and give it, just dwell on it a little bit. See if that little voice in your head says, ooh, that rings true. I'm going to make all the hairs on your body stand up. All right, we got like 3 minutes. Today, everybody, if you would, take 5 to 10 minutes. Go outside. Might be cold out. Just do it for a few minutes. Go find a tree, a bug, some running water. Just say hello. Say hi. How you doing? Tell them about your day. I told this to Dave yesterday. I talked to him yesterday, and he said he was up all night, this and that. He needed to get some sleep. I was like, dude, take 5 minutes. Go sit next to a tree. Tell him about your night. And then wait and listen. And see what that little voice in your head tells you back. And you never know till you try. Go explain yourself to a tree and see what happens. You may feel silly and dumb while you're doing it, and you may be really shocked at the outcome. You may get granted some profound wisdom in that little voice in your head that you know did not come from you. Just, you never know till you try. That's all I'm saying. Go talk to a tree. Talk with nature, any bit of nature you can find. At the very least, you'll feel better after it's all said and done.
Liz saying she felt bad chopping back some branches yesterday that were blocking the sun. Actually, that actually helps the tree grow. Like topping a plant.
Yeah, pruning.
I don't know enough about
Absolutely. You don't prune trees and they don't, they're more likely to die, really. It's just like your vegetable garden. When you prune your vegetable garden, it gets bigger and healthier and stronger,
It's a lesson for humans. You got to get outside of your comfort zone. Pruning encourages growth. Yeah, it may hurt, but in the end, it's going to be better for you. So you might as well just deal with whatever toy you get in your adult Happy Meal.
Real quick, I don't know, something just happened. Jess in chat, JG, saying she talked to the moon the other day and started crying. And when I read that, I got a big red warning sign flashing over my head. Kind of that same warning sign that made me stop doing my stretches towards the moon back about 5 or 8 years ago. Be careful with that moon, Jess. We're not really sure what that is. And I wouldn't want it stealing your energy in a bad way. So just a little heads up, just something about that really sent red flags up for me. Love you, lady. Take care of yourself and watch that moon. Be careful. It's a trickster. Not a fucking doubt.
Walking angel. There's some wisdom. Learn to prune properly.
Absolutely. Love you guys so much.
Not just roses, but yourself.
We will be there this afternoon, by the way. We will.
We will be there this afternoon. Fingers crossed. I make it home okay. Otherwise, we will see you right back here next Tuesday morning, 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. Central for another exciting episode of the Ironworks right here at truthfrequencyradio.com, TFRlive.com. Be good, be well. We love you.